Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger and for putting the mission in jeopardy. Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was reckless. And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense. So I think you should resign. The mother says she wants you gone. And with that, I yield back.
Vindman didn't ask a question. He dropped a bomb. He accused Pete Hegseth of leaking classified mission details that nearly cost an American pilot his life. And when the pilot's mother demanded accountability, Hegseth refused to apologize. The hearing erupted as Vindman pressed harder. Hegseth dug in deeper, and the tension exploded for everyone watching. With reckless decisions, zero accountability, and whispers of a secret cyber warfare freeze tied to his department, one thing became clear. Pete Hegseth wasn't just failing, he was putting national security at risk.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I ask unanimous consent to submit for the record an article. A distinguished member of this committee,
without objection, so ordered,
confirmed that there was, in fact, a pause in offensive cyber operations earlier this year. The SecDef just denied this. This committee deserves to know whether the Secretary just lied. Mr. Secretary, many believed you were underqualified for this role. You've been Secretary for 4.5 months now. For the sake of the American people and our service members, I hope you've done your homework since. Let's talk Indo-PACOM. What year has the Navy publicly set as the benchmark for being ready to fight a war with China?
Well, it needs to be right now. We know what China has said.
I'm glad to hear that, but there is a publicly set date.
Well, we know it wouldn't be prudent for me in this environment to reveal when we think we're ready. That's what China has said, and we understand what they're saying, and we want to be capable and ready for it.
Not a filibuster. 2027 is the year. According to unclassified DoD assessments, how many warships does China have in its Navy today?
Many and growing.
370. It's the largest Navy in the world. How many does the U.S. Navy have today?
Thanks to this budget, it's increasing
it's a number.
substantially.
I'm looking for a number.
But it's just south of 300.
296, pretty close. How many ships is China expected to field by 2030?
I believe that's a classified number, but it's going to go up at a rapid rate.
CMPR report that was released. There's an unclassified number.
It's going up at a rapid rate.
Let me help you out. 435. Let's see if we do better in EUCOM. What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap. Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap? It contains nuclear-capable missiles. It threatens all of NATO. It's right there in the middle of Eastern Europe.
I see we're playing a quiz game here.
It's
ultimately,
Kaliningrad
thankfully,
Oblast.
we're getting our NATO allies to step up in their spending to make sure that they can hold the line.
Mr. Secretary, I asked you a specific question. Thank you. It's Kaliningrad Oblast. So what percentage of Ukrainian frontline casualties, let's talk drones, are now caused by FPV drones?
A very large percentage, and we're studying that conflict closely to understand
I hope so.
that fact.
It's over 70%. And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. So we're not prepared yet, and we need to get there fast. Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign. She also had several questions, but one thing, she said she would appreciate an apology for putting classified information. Her son couldn't even tell her where the Truman was going, but into the Houthi PC small group signal chat that risked her son's life and the mission. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, do you think you owe her an apology?
Please make sure to let her know how grateful we are for the skill and heroism of her.
I am very much grateful. I'm sure everybody in this room is grateful. I'm proud of what her son has done. The question is, do you owe her an apology for your actions? Are you going to be accountable?
It was an incredibly successful mission. Her son did great work.
They did a magnificent job.
Thankfully, the Houthi campaign was successful.
Secretary, I agree with you. Magnificent job. The performance of those pilots and Navy personnel, magnificent. We're talking about what you did and accountability. Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You don't apologize for putting her son's life in danger and for putting the mission in jeopardy. Well, that's really disappointing and not befitting the type of leadership that our troops and families deserve. It's frankly a stunning lack of OPSEC. Privates are trained to do much better than that. It was reckless. And it sounds like that accountability doesn't extend as far as the Secretary of Defense. So I think you should resign. The mother says she wants you gone. And with that, I yield back.
The room went dead silent, but the damage was already done. Vindman had just ripped the mask off Washington's polished facade and exposed chaos at the highest levels of command. Pete Hegseth wasn't just accused of a mistake. He was accused of recklessness that put American lives in danger. And when asked if he owed her an apology, the Secretary of Defense shrugged it off with one cold response: "I don't apologize for success." That single line sent shockwaves through the entire hearing, but it was only the beginning. What followed was nothing short of a controlled demolition of the Pentagon's leadership. Vindman launched a relentless crossfire of questions that ripped open the cracks in America's defense strategy. What started as a debate about cyber warfare readiness spiraled into something far darker: whispers of leaked operations, drone warfare failures, and a military chain of command that looks increasingly unprepared for the next conflict. Vindman forced the issue into the open. He pressed the Secretary on whether there had been a pause in offensive cyber operations earlier this year, a claim backed by reports but denied by the Pentagon. If true, it could mean Congress was misled about critical national security decisions, a breach that shakes public trust to its core. Then came the Pacific confrontation. China's Navy already dwarfs America's, 370 ships to our 296, and is racing toward 435 by 2030. Yet, when Vindman asked if the U.S. is ready to fight by the Pentagon's own benchmark year, 2027, the response was evasive. Vindman called it terrifying, warning that Beijing is preparing for battle while Washington is still debating budgets. And here's the nightmare scenario nobody wanted to say out loud. If the U.S. waits until 2027 to be ready, Beijing won't wait. By then, it could already be too late. And just when the tension peaked, Vindman turned Europe into the spotlight. He asked about the Suwałki Gap, one of NATO's most vulnerable choke points linking Poland and Lithuania. The Secretary hesitated. Vindman answered for him. It wasn't a geography test. It was a warning. If NATO loses control of that corridor, Russia could cut off the Baltic states in days. The fact that the Pentagon's top leader didn't immediately grasp the risk? Alarming. Then came the battlefield reality. Vindman revealed that over 70% of Ukrainian frontline casualties now come from FPV drones. Cheap, deadly, and redefining modern warfare. But when asked which branch of the U.S. military has a doctrine or procurement system in place to counter this threat, the answer was chilling. None. Not the Army, not the Navy, not the Air Force. America is watching a technological shift unfold in real time and falling behind. And when Vindman circled back to the leaked mission over the Red Sea, the hearing exploded. According to the pilot's mother, the Secretary shared classified details in a private signal chat. Information so sensitive that even her own son couldn't tell her where he was going. All she wanted was an apology. He refused. The silence that followed was deafening. Vindman fired back, calling it a complete failure of leadership, and demanded his resignation. But what made this clash truly explosive was how completely it exposed Pete Hegseth. His reckless leaks, refusal to take responsibility, and silence on growing security failures painted a damning picture. Every answer he gave or dodged only intensified the sense that this wasn't just incompetence. It was danger unfolding in real time. Hegseth's credibility didn't just crack. It collapsed, leaving the entire room questioning whether the Pentagon was being led by someone fit to handle national security at all. And now the storm is getting darker. Behind closed doors, whispers are spreading about a paused cyber warfare program, drone vulnerabilities, and hidden classified leaks tied to his department. If even a fraction of it turns out to be true, this isn't just a Pentagon controversy. It's a ticking security time bomb. And the terrifying part? Pete Hegseth is right at the center of it. The real question isn't just whether the U.S. is prepared for the wars of tomorrow. It's whether the people in charge can even be trusted to keep us safe today.